I'm fishing for my people. See, I want to see like who's out there, who resonates on a level that you don't have any concepts, and you see how everything is connected with each other. For example, Advaita or non-dual or self-inquiry, it's all part of the same package. There's some beings that think like this is the highest. Those who do devotional bhakti type worship, you know, they do puja, or they worship their form, the God in form, and whichever form, Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, Krishna. If you go to India, there's hundreds of gods. Somehow, and check this though, do you do it? It's not about guilt or fault finding. It's about like doing introspection on the deepest level. Do you feel on any level that somehow the Advaita, the non-dual, is higher than the devotional lineage, the people who are doing devotion? Do you feel it? Like, is there something in there that senses it? God, I hope there's not some people who say, no, but there's no non-dual and there's no devotion. Yeah, this is the thing with the internet. It's like, it's a double-edged sword. Positive is you have access to things now that you couldn't normally have access to before. You wouldn't know about it. But the negative side is there's so much misinformation out there that there's like a saying that says a little bit of knowledge is dangerous. See, because the mind takes knowledge and then just goes crazy with it. And takes you deeper into delusion. So my point is like Advaita, devotion, it's duality. They're two opposite sides of the same coin. One's not better than the other. You have stupid, ignorant, fake people who do non-duality, plenty, and then you have a bunch who also do devotion. That's fake. They're doing it because they project their concept, their limited intelligence onto an infinite supremeness, aka God, and then think that, okay, if I do my worship every day, then God, this being called God, is going to somehow, he's going to have a soft spot for me, and then he's going to like give me what I want, money, make my business thrive, make my wife pregnant, whatever. That's fake devotion. Fake non-duality, we know what that is. I talk about that every video. Nothing exists. Okay. So the real, you can say a real inner balance, it's automatic that both your faculty of knowledge, that awakens, also your heart awakens. You have a natural compassion and empathy and humility when it comes to, in unity, when it comes to other sentient beings. And if you're really flexible and in the moment and not stuck in some concept like I'm only non-dual, then there'll be seasons where the consciousness wants to express in a more devotional way, via prayer, via bhajans, via whatever. That's automatic. There's no such thing as a 100% non-dual person or even 100% devotional person. At some point, the devotional person, when you're very devoted to something, when you're surrendering to, you can say God, in a form or not, at some point, but we're talking about in a form, when you keep praying to something like a statue of Krishna or something, at some point, because that's surrender. When you're doing that, you're offering yourself up. You're offering yourself up, and you just, Krishna or Jesus or Muhammad, just take me, replace me. At some point, this idea you have of yourself, it's gonna get replaced with what? Yeah, what word do you want to use? It's gonna get replaced with more of a universal sense of being, as opposed to this individual sense of being that most people are walking around with all the time. When that universal sense of being gets activated for a devotional person, automatically their Advaita nature is going to start to open up, and they're going to start to see things. They can even talk on some level in some non-dual way. But they won't call it non-duality. They don't. They're talking what they see. Like this is their direct perception. They didn't listen to a bunch of YouTube videos and now they're parroting that. No, they just see, like it's like that. But when they speak, if somebody's really balanced, when you speak, you got to know vibration. You can tell the vibration when they speak. It's not like this arrogant little kind of, ooh, look at me, what I know. It's not that. Some people get high off their own supply of spiritual jargon and knowledge. As they're sharing, they're getting high, like, damn, I'm really dropping science now. How do I know all this? Because I did it. That's how. So I'm not a hypocrite. I feel like we all have to go through this on some level. That's why I'm like trying to point it out. The more you're aware of, you can say, how ego's hiding and playing, the more quickly you can overcome it and get out of it. It's not going to be overcome by pretending like nothing exists. It's not going to happen. You'll just stay asleep longer. At some point, life is going to catch you out in some dramatic way, and you're going to have to look at this. But why not look at it now, in this lifetime? Why waste like more time? So, and it's the same with the non-dual Advaita-oriented person. At some point, if they're earnest and honest with their practice and they're looking, they're not doing it, it's not the ego taking it as its own and now thinking it knows something. No, if they're actually using the pointings to, you know, if we're talking about like non-duality says no form exists. So in a sincere sadhaka, say, okay, Ashtavakra said, like, there's only the Brahman, nothing exists. What does this actually mean? Not try to answer it intellectually. That's like the worst thing. But just sit with that. Nothing exists. Nothing exists. Like, but there's this. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe. But this is always changing. All this stuff. Nothing exists. Yeah, but I exist. Like yeah, I exist, but I don't know. There's like a flimsiness about it. I exist as this human construct. It's almost like something's dreaming this human sense of a self existing, right? You can kind of feel something like it's like the consciousness is more real than this human outfit. It's like the consciousness has put on this human garb and put us in a world where there's a bunch of other human garbs, and so it appears, everything's appearing, it appears that like this is real, but there's something underneath this. You can sense it. It's like more real though, but I can't see it. I can't feel. See, this is the contemplation that a sincere seeker will do with these pointings. You sit and you contemplate that, and then if some real epiphany comes, some realization gets downloaded, you don't run to the internet and try to film it. That's a sure sign that you didn't do anything except get lower, imagining you got higher. It's a personal, intimate thing. If you have realizations, it's very, and they're authentic. You don't feel like sharing, like broadcasting it. You share it if the time and space is there to share it, because you're dialed in now. You can feel your motives. You can feel when you're being directed by some divine inspiration to share something via, or if it's mind, ego trying to share something. But unless one knows that discernment, then they're always going to think it's the divine telling them to share. It's like when I wrote a screenplay when I was 23 or something in Los Angeles. And if you'd asked me at the time about that, I'd have said, oh man, God's having me write this for sure. Now, on a broader scale, yeah, God's having us play this whole game no matter what. He's doing everything, the killing, the raping, and everything. Like, It's all part of the show. But I'm saying, when we get, if we're talking about a more like higher level, there's different levels of destiny. You can say there's like a lower expression of destiny for yourself and a higher expression. So when we're talking about higher expression for destiny, of your true destiny, you're at a place where you can discern these inner motives. You know the difference between ego guiding you and your true self guiding you. You know the difference. You can feel the vibration. Then that's when you can read the vibration in other beings. If you can't read it in yourself, you can't read it in other beings. It's impossible. That supersedes everything. The vibration supersedes everything. It doesn't matter what this person's talking, what they're saying, how they're acting, what clothes they're wearing, what their style is. Are they unconventional? Are they more polished? All that's nonsense. How many followers they have, how many they don't, all that becomes irrelevant. You're tuned to vibration. You can read the heart's vibration because you're in touch with your own. So that being is going to be balanced, and he's going to have both non-dual maturity, and also he's going to have a devotional nature too that's activated. It's not one or the other, it's both. And it happens automatically and organically. There's no choice. That's my message.